We refuse to be what the Babylon wanted us to be. We are what we are. That's the way it's going to be. If you don't know, you can't educate I for no equal opportunity. Then talking about my freedom, people's freedom and liberty. Yeah, we've been treading on your wine press much too long. Nigeria, your Babylon. We've been treading on your wine press much too long. Rebel, rebel now. The Babylon system is a vampire. I said it again. Hey, hey. The Nigerian system is a vampire, fallen empire, sucking the blood of the sufferers. Yeah. Them building church, mosques, and university. Whoa, yeah. Deceiving Nigerians continually. Yeah. Me said, then graduating thieves and murderers. Look at now. They sucking the blood of the sufferers. Yeah, sufferers. The Nigerians the truth. The Nigerians the truth. Tell the people the truth right now. Come on and tell the children the truth. Tell the people the truth. The Nigerians the truth. Yeah. Tell the people the truth. Come on. Come on. Come on. Hey, Rastafari. Ever living, ever mighty, ever sure. Good afternoon from Houston, Texas, United States of America. This is Smart Mado Ajaja, the convener of Open Nigeria and Africa Unite, and the anchor of Nigeria Now. Global matters are rising. Good morning, Africa, and the reggae at its best on ONN. I hope you guys had a great weekend and look forward to the great new week that is coming. Dennis Vega, how are you? Welcome to the show. And as it is proprietary with us, from our viewers and listeners from around the world, from the YouTube and Facebook, we say thank you. And we encourage you to follow us, subscribe to our channel, and they're the first timers from our heart, from our heart, from our heart. We welcome you, to yet another explosive edition of the ONN. Yes, matters are rising in Nigeria now. I hope we are all ready. It's supposed to be an open edition. Actually, we're supposed to have a guest here, but for some unforeseen circumstances, he could not make it. But we have to, keep on going. And for those who wish to be part of this conversation and who understand the subject, which I'm going to break down, and want to contribute live, on camera, we are happy to receive you. The link is right at the very first comment you see it is pinned. The link is there, so you can click on the link and then be in our studio in a jiffy, so we can talk about this issue. The issue at stake here is very simple. A young man, a young Nigerian, then that he has denounced Nigeria, that is no longer a Nigerian. All right, from the Igbo part, southeast part of Nigeria, born sometime around 1972 to some years, 20 years after the end of, 2 years after the end of the genocide, the great genocide that took place, the greatest African tragedy. Yes, the greatest African tragedy. Yes. What happened in Rwanda was a child's play. But for some reason, maybe because that one is the most recent that happened, the genocide in Africa that happened, the Rwandan case, perhaps is because it's the newer one, the newest one. You won't understand what happened in Nigeria between 1967 and 1970, when it was over 6 million Igbos were massacred. Yes, by terrorists in Nigerian armed forces uniforms. It wasn't a civil war that they tried to make it look like. It was a genocide. One group, one ethnic group in Nigeria was singled out for massacre using the weapons of Nigeria and with support from Imperial Europe led by Britain. And the tribe that I'm talking about is the Igbo tribe. And after the massacre, when they were like, they got tired of killing innocent women and children, then they decided that the war or their genocide was over. And they declared no victor, no vanquished. And then they came about with reconciliation, reconstruction, and reintegration. And then none of these three arts ever took. There was no reconciliation, there was no reconstruction, there was no reintegration of the Igbo race back into Nigeria. I am saying this because no Igbo man, not many Igbo people will have the audacity that I have to say it the way it is now. So because every Igbo man, majority of them are afraid because they are under siege in Nigeria. They are scared of opening their mouth to say exactly what the situation was. Yes, not many. Any Igbo man who rose up to say something, they put him in jail. But I am a Nigerian and with an inalienable rights to Nigerian citizenship and a global citizen. Yes, I can say whatever I want to say as long as it's the truth. And the truth is what I'm speaking on behalf of millions of gagged Igbos who now live life, because they want to survive. Life for them is a survivor, but they live in pains. They live in serious pains. And sadly, Nigerians enjoy them living in pains. They celebrate their pains. And when they open their mouth to speak, they will tell them that they are playing victims. How long are you going to play victims? And the fact is that they are truly victims. And Nigeria has not stopped victimizing them. They are the people who, when they go to Kanu, they will tell them that they don't belong to Kanu, they should leave, and they start killing them. When they go to Lagos, a federal capital territory, they will tell them that they are not Yorubas. They cannot build homes in Lagos. But they are the ones who makes the economy of Lagos what it is on daily basis. They massacre them. Now, as we go on now, in Lagos State, there is a policy. They put the hate and the destruction into a government policy targeting the Igbos who have homes in Lagos, and they are demolishing them. And when they open their mouth to say anything, even if they have certificate of occupancy for those lands, they will tell them that it's a policy. Why are you crying? They can't raise their voice. Now, in their places in the southeast of Nigeria, they will deploy soldiers. And as we speak, again, I am the only one. ONN was the only one to give a detailed report of what is happening in the southeast of Nigeria. The mainstream media, run by those with connection to those destroying the Igbos and Nigeria, holding Nigeria hostage, they turn the blind eye to it. They will not say it, but they will come around and tell us one Nigeria. Well, tell me where Nigeria is one. And that is why I'm at the forefront of the drive to truly make Nigeria one open country with free, fair, equal, and unlimited and unconditional access to opportunity to every Nigerian to grow and develop, progress, and prosper. Yes, according to their abilities and levels of competency in a non-threatening environment. Yes, that is why I am championing the cause for open Nigeria. All right, that said, looking at all that took place, the hellish massacre, including the massacre that started before they declared the official genocide in the north of Nigeria, in all northern cities in Nigeria, Igbos were massacred. Children and women were massacred. Even in River State of Nigeria, where they had so much investment, where they dominate actually as an ethnic group. You hear about the abandoned property. People jumped on the property of Igbos and seized them. Yes. So in the east, west, north, and south, it has been hell, and it has remained hell for the Igbo people. Again, because now there's a siege mentality. Young Igbo children grow up with fear that if they open their mouth now, Nigeria will jump on them. And then they have now an apologetic elitist class, especially those from the political class, who are so distant from their people, who will bring the federal, what they call federal might in Nigeria, to shut down the people, to beat them down, that they cannot. All the legislators, governors, and lawmakers from Igbo political class, and even the elite business class, they are so distant from their people. They are more interested in protecting their businesses than protecting who they are. So, and again, it's because of fear. Every little minute that the people across Nigeria have, they will jump on Igbos, jump on their property, destroy them. So the same thing that led to the genocide, the hate, the fear, the Igbophobic espoused by Ahmadu Bello on day one at independence. All those are still here with us. When they declared the massacre, there was this search for peace. Ojukwu never wanted to go to war. He never wanted it. He was a commander commanding a brigade in the north, precisely Kanu. Even in 1966, when Nzogo, looking at the way Nigeria was, the way the country was drifting, and he staged that coup that they called Igbo coup. that has now been proved beyond reasonable doubt by one of the beneficiaries of the massacre of the Igbos. I'm talking about Ibrahim Babangida, that it wasn't actually an Igbo coup. He chose to be very close to his grave before he spoke the truth. He chose because he now wanted to make peace with God, thinking that God is going to accept him in his heaven, to speak the truth. He benefited on the blood of the Igbos to become head of state of Nigeria. The Igbos have are ostracized people. You don't find them holding command position in the armed forces of Nigeria. You don't find them holding positions, command positions in the Nigerian police force. You don't see them holding command positions in the DSS. You don't see them holding high-profile positions in the civil service of Nigeria. Yes, this is ready, it's provable. Go and do your research if you are looking at me right now. Go. But you know what? The people refuse to die. They refuse to give up. At the end of the massacre, at the end of the massacre of the Igbo people in Nigeria, every Igbo man who had a bank account, every Igbo man who had a bank account was given 20 pounds. It didn't matter if he was a billionaire already. And many of them were already millionaires and perhaps billionaires. The first billionaire Nigeria ever had was an Igbo man, Ojuku's father, Sir Louis Ojukwu. He was a billionaire. Yes, way back in the early 60s, when the exploitative Queen of England, Victoria, came to Nigeria, it was his Rolls Royce. Can you talk? Are you hearing me, Nigerians and the watchers of Nigeria? Sir Louis Ojukwu already had what? A Rolls Royce. In the early 60s, it was his Rolls Royce that the damn Queen of England rode in to go to her, her colonies way back in the 50s. That man was already a billionaire. He wasn't a billionaire because he was in politics. He was no governor. He was no senator. He was no member of House of Representatives. He was not in any House of Assembly. He was a hard-working businessman. Yes, he was a trader. He had so much money. And he was the father of Odumegu Ojukwu, the man who championed the cause, of the liberation of Biafra at the time when the people came to him that they were tired of being slaughtered everywhere in Nigeria. I'm talking about north, east, west, and south. Yes, they killed them, even very close to my hometown. Where they call it those states, they were killing them. They will call you Owigbo, Kukugbe. Yes, they killed them in Yoruba land. They killed them in the north, massively in the north. They massacred them. Yes. And when they used blockade, they used hunger to kill millions of children against the Geneva Convention. Who was the minister of the de facto prime minister? It was Obafemi Awolowo, the man who was supposed to be the beneficiary of the so-called Igbo coup, led by some Igbo men. All right? He justified that hunger could be used as a weapon of war. When we keep quiet, we choose the truth we want to speak. But with us, we speak every truth because we want our country to heal and heal without anything left behind. Yes. 20 pounds. 20 pounds was what they gave to every Igbo man who had a bank account. If you like to be billionaire, it doesn't matter. It didn't matter. That's how wicked the drivers of Nigeria have been. And their wickedness is generational. It's not something that started today. If you want to understand understand the genesis of the wickedness and the conspiracy against Nigeria, you must trace it back to the amalgamation year of 1914. People will cry because we speak the truth. We don't care. We are going to speak the truth anyway. We will speak the truth. It's a commitment to speaking the truth that I made, the truth that not many people will want to speak. Some want to avoid speaking the truth because they want to run for office and seem to be good politicians. I am not. If I run for office tomorrow, vote for me. Vote against me because I spoke the truth that made you feel bad. But it's the truth. You cannot expunge it. It's the truth. The truth that made them remove the study of history from the academic curriculum of Nigeria. The reason Nigerian youths are confused and so ambivalent, they don't know who they are in a very, very, very competitive 21st century. You see how the young Nigerians cannot even put anything together? They can't organize. They grow up with a lot of stereotypes, hate, discrimination. They don't understand that their immediate future is being put in danger. They don't understand that they should divorce themselves from what has held the country in captivity. So that is why they are very confused. Nigerian youths are very, very confused. Very, very confused. And you see why they are the way they are. You know, when they see youth from other countries do great things like the most recent, the Nepalese youths, when they woke up, united, set religion aside, set their tribes aside, look at their present, and looked into their future, and they saw it was bleak. They came together to say, no, we understand where our problem is. It's our political elites. We must get rid of them. And they went to work. Did it take how many days? The president of the country was on the run. And you saw them tossing some of them into the waters, drown them because of the raging anger associated with the destruction that they have brought upon their country and how they have imperiled their future. They woke up. We don't see that in Nigeria. Where are the Nigerian youths? Do they think that I don't have a tribe? I have a tribe. Who cares about tribe anymore? What has my tribe done for me? The only thing my tribe has done for me is that I speak the language. Right? That's all. Okay, that I'm identified as an Ika man. It ends there. It ends there. What has Ika done for me? The only thing I learned the language, I know the culture. The culture now is being bastardized. It's so badly bastardized now. But I am happy that I know it. And I'm happy that I'm imparting the same to my children. Those at home have left their children, they leave the children unattended. The youths there don't even know who they are. They are grabbing money by all means. because the people they are looking up to for leadership are doing worse than that. So when you have a population like that in a country, the future scares you about that country. And that is why at the age of 63, I am standing up for Nigeria, hoping that I will be able to find a way to connect with these people, to make them understand that their silence or otherwise, when their country is being destroyed, is inimical to their future. And it is something like that that inspired this young man called Nnamdi Kanu, who saw that after the destruction of his people, he wasn't born at the time, he was born in 1972, from what I hear, 2 years after they declared an end to the genocide. 2 years after they were promised that there was no victor, no vanquish. 2 years after they were told that the Igbos will be reconciled with the rest of Nigeria, and that the Igbos will be reintegrated, and that the Igbo land will be reconstructed. Now, if you are a Nigerian, for real, if you are a Nigerian, show me the reconciliation. Have the Igbos been reconciled with the people of Nigeria? If they are reconciled with the people of Nigeria, why are some Yorubas telling them to leave Lagos? Why do some people tell them to leave Kanu, Sokoto, and the rest of them? If you are reconciled with the people, you make peace, and there is justice, there's fairness, there's equity. Do you think those people will still wake up and want to be agitating? Go to the Igbo land. What has been reconstructed there? As we stand right now, the place is a war zone. Young Igbo males are being cut down every day and buried, with the Nigerian mainstream media not reporting anything. They censor that. The same army that is so ineffective against Boko Haram, the same armed forces that is scared of confronting the Fulani bandits. They find extraordinary strength whenever it is about destroying Igbo land and the Igbos. Yes, not many Igbo people can say what I'm saying. They are scared because life has become a thing of siege. They have to survive. But we cannot continue like that. They are citizens of our country. If they cannot speak for themselves, somebody has to speak for them. And that is what I've decided to do. I am speaking for the Igbos, and I'm speaking for the Hausa people. Yes, that is another kettle of tea, a kettle of hair. So a lot of things Nigerians don't know about what happened to the Igbos and what has been happening to the Hausa people, that we all blame as the cause of Nigerian problem. No, they are not. They are victims. The Hausa people, if you hear their story, you will understand how much of a victim that they are. And that without their liberation, without the liberation of the Hausa people, no Nigerian is a liberated person. The whole of Nigeria will not be free. And this is why we must be intentional about rising up in the effort to liberate the Hausa and the Igbo people. We are supposed to be one country. I see the spirit here in the United States that when something happens anywhere in the US, it is everybody that is involved that is concerned, and they go to it with an unprecedented emotion. Yes, because they care about their country, they care about their people, they care that if one American is hot, all Americans are hot. You now ask question when for any reason. In fact, it happened in Nigeria. Some Americans were held hostage. Yes, and the terrorists were holding them in Sokoto. America did not take the permission from Nigeria. They deployed. They knew where all those people were. They flew from the nearest American air base to come and free them inside Nigeria. Nigeria did not even know. Buhari was president. He didn't even know. They took them and then announced that they rescued some hostages being held in Nigeria. Yes, you say you're Nigeria. You're Nigeria, right? Yes, that is a country. Will Nigeria do that for any country? No. They can't even fight Boko Haram inside Nigeria. The only time they have power is on Igbos. That's all Nigeria is good at. And it's driven by hate. Everybody hates the Igbo man. Everybody hates the Igbo man. What did the Igbo man do? Most Nigerians hate the Igbo people. Yes, some pretend. And then when it happens, you see them using policy to justify hate. We are a very, very hateful people. And the hate Nigerians have is the reason Nigeria is stuck. We cannot move anywhere until we kill hate in Nigeria. And we kill the drivers of hate in Nigeria. We will not get anywhere. Look at the political class of Nigeria. Tell me what you see. Yes. Tell me what you see. Yeah, wisdom, Nigerians. Yes. We got to talk about it. Dennis Vega, thank you very much for joining YouTube. Fango Edwin, Prince Idris Okoje, you are welcome. And this is an open edition of Nigeria Now, and matters are rising. If you are a Nigerian and you are interested in making a case, right live on video, the link is there, up there. So click on it and then join me at the studio here, so we can talk. But otherwise, you can make a comment, make your comments, and we take cognizance of that and we respond appropriately. I am pissed off. I am sad that such a great country, we are still talking about rotational presidency in 2025, 65 years after independence. We are still talking about a Senate president has to come from the South. Vice Senate president has to come from the West. Oh, it is the North that has the chance to be president for another 8 years. Oh, it is the term of Southwest. We kind of foolish. You like I come sadly from a country of mostly people who cannot think. The world is thinking about progress. The world is advancing in science and technology. The world is putting their best, to be their leaders. We are choosing religious bigots. We are choosing roadside people who were jumping out of classes when they were in high school because they didn't want to study. You imagine the quality of lawmakers in Nigeria. And imagine what they are doing when millions of Nigerians can feed. Yes. And we clap for them. We repress our leaders, the true leaders of Nigeria. We frustrate them and make them run away from Nigeria. And we clap. Even with the consequences of doing that, slapping us every minute. The consequences of our inability to generate and distribute electricity in a manner that will drive an economy. Yes, Nigerians generate their electricity. Nigerians make provisions for their water. Yes, Nigerians now, they build the roads for themselves. Everything is run down. Hey, Wade, how are you? How are you? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. I am mad, man. I'm talking about Nigeria. We are talking about Nigeria. And we are asking questions. Why are they still holding Nnamdi Kanu? 5 years after. And that was one section of it. Before then, they have held him for another 4 years. 9 years, they have shattered his family, destroyed his father and mother died. Yes, his father and mother died. They raided their place, killed over 28 people in one swoop. Yes, their crocodile started crying. Their crocodile that has failed to cry against Boko Haram and Fulani bandits. He was crying and is crying right now. That idiotic crocodile, that murderous crocodile, only cries for Igbos, against the Igbos. Only cries against the Niger Delta. Yes. From where they steal all that they have used to develop their various states in Nigeria. It's time for us to ask this question. Why are they still holding him? But I'm giving the analogy, and I want to build up a case, towards making it happen. Yes. Yes. Wait, he said that corruption is what is poisoning Africa. If only we could copy USA and be united and self-sufficient, we wouldn't suffer like this. Yes, that is what we are telling them. But the people, for some reasons, choose criminals. They love criminals. Nigerians love to choose criminals as their leaders. How will you choose someone like Bola Ahmed Tinubu as your president and expect the country to be a great country like America? Yes. How will you choose him, a drug dealer, a certificate forger, and an identity thief? How will you choose a terrorist like Kashin Shettima as vice president? Kashin Shettima, in whose house those who bombed the United Nations building were arrested. You choose them. How will you choose Akpabio as Senate president, and then you have a good country? How would you have Wike? Yes, Wike, who stole everything in River State, and they are praising him. Yes. Yeah. How will you have the like of Okowa as governor of Delta State that he wrecked? Ibori wrecked. Udwanga wrecked. Yes. And then you want that country to be an Eldorado. It can never and will never happen. Yes. How will you choose a thug who has never had any business? He has never been CEO of any company. All of a sudden, this burst of money is coming out. Transitional rulers will now go and lay prostrate before him for money. You can't have that type of people as leader, and then you expect your country to be like Dubai. It's impossible. It's impossible. It is impossible. How will you have the like of Atiku as president? Yes. He's still now. The later he boasting that he won't step down for anybody. Who wants him to step down? If the people of Nigeria are conscious, as I think that they should be, they don't need him to step down. They should go to the polls if he chooses to go. He nominates himself as always, and then he wins, and then he goes, and then the people vote. If the people can vote for their choice, and if real people really step forward to want to lead Nigeria. Like me, I won't go there, not under this circumstance. I will not do anything that will validate Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I want him out now, today. I want him out by the people's action. I want the people of Nigeria to unite and send them packing before anything. Yes, you said, Wade AFC, you said our people are blind and brainwashed. Give them more entertainment. Yes. Keep the masses building. Yeah, yeah. This is what the government strategy. Yeah, our people are busy dancing Davido. Yeah, they love to dance Davido. They dance P Square, Bomber Boy. Which one is the other one? There are many of them. All right, Flavor. Yeah, with their nasty music that have no meaning, no sense. That is what our people love. Even as people are dying, even as people have no food to eat, play Davido for them. Not Bob Marley that has sense, that is telling them, wake up and leave. No, they won't. It's that nasty music that they dance. Yes, that is what it is. Then after dancing, they will come and be troubling you to wire them money, send them money. And they see you, what you are doing. They don't want to be openly supportive of what you are doing. Even ordinary to click like, share your message, they will not. Because they are eating from here and there. They don't want their oppressors to see them as a lining behind the truth. So that is how the chain Nigerians are in. It's a very, very complex chain. You see our young people celebrating those who are killing them. You see the kind of messages that if you're an Ika person, you will see young Ika people praising Okowa and really writing, even including one whose father was killed, beheaded by Fulani headsmen. His father, his father was beheaded by Fulani headsmen. They murdered him in his farm and cut off his neck at Abavo. He is the champion, the editorial champion for Okowa. And his father was murdered because of Okowa's ineptitude. 8 years. Okowa could not do anything to protect lives and the property of the people in Delta. He launched a fake Delta Hawk that never took off from where it was launched. And the launching cost billions of naira that he and his cronies put in their pocket. And then turn back and be laughing at the people, yeah, people. He went on a wild good chase to become vice president of Nigeria with Atiku. Atiku had to tell him, define him as an Igbo man to spite the real Igbo people and put a red cap on his head to make him his Igbo vice presidential candidate. It's so sad. And our people followed like fools. As always, they follow. They will follow everything. Money, 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 because they are always hungry. They are never satisfied. Money, 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 money. Everything about them is money. Everything. Nigerians are so transactional. They are lazy. When you tell them they are lazy, they get angry. Get angry now. I'm telling you. You are lazy. Nigerians are lazy. Lazy in the head. How could you have a brood of vipers riding you and you are happy, you are celebrating that you are happy? You needed to see traditional rulers from the one they call a Neoma. People, one young man sent it to me the first time. I told him, what do you want me to say about this? What do you want me to say about this? I told him, no, I've gone beyond that. I am operating for Nigeria now at the highest level. I am walking into the heart of Africa from the center of the world. So these little ones are not going to go down. But it looks like there was a syndicate. People kept pushing this message to me about traditional rulers in the so-called Anioma going to one little boy's place to pay him homage because his father died. When we were growing up, when I was young, the king of my place, the last traditional ruler of Abavo, Obi S.E. Jegbefume, Simon Ihiato Jegbefume. I can count how many times I saw him. I can count. The number of times I saw Ihiato as the Obi of Abavo, it wasn't up to 5 times in my lifetime. In his lifetime, I didn't see him up to 5 times. I know I saw him 3 times during the Igwe festival that was like big. And you wouldn't even see him from a close range. We were scampering, we scrambled to try to see him. It was fun. It was fun. He was not common. And he was a man of means. He wasn't lazy. He wasn't lazy. He was hardworking. He even had a farm. He went to farm to work. These ones, no, they are lazy. They are corrupt. They are morally bankrupt. They are grabbing land, taking people's wives. That's all they do. You go there to say, okay, you have a problem to settle traditionally. Traditionally, you go there. You have to pay money. That's what they are doing. Now they have taken it to a new level now. to the extent that they go to obituaries. Yes, they leave, traditional rulers will gather and leave and go to one young man's house. Why? Because they want money. Why? Because the boy that had never been a CEO of a company. His father was not known to be a CEO of any company. They don't own any business. The only business that they did was politics. He was only an assistant to Okowa. That was all. All of a sudden, this big burst of money came. A young man that they are supposed to be asking questions about the source of the money he's spending. Our people are lost. Our people are lost. So they are now taking turns. Presidents of town unions will go to take their own. Now is the turn of the fake traditional rulers. You know how I don't have any respect for that traditional institution. What about the Oba of Benin? Benin people say Oba no they go transfer. Oba started going to transfer. He went and lowered himself before Governor Sanwo-Olu, little boy in Lagos. From there, he graduated to Abuja. Now, the other day, they said they came and they want to install a Yaloja. Yaloja is a Yoruba title for market woman leader. That is not in our culture. For some reason, he found a space to say that that is not anything. Now he's in trouble. Now he's afraid that they are going to remove him as the Oba of Benin. He himself came there to destroy the institution, to destroy the work of his ancestors. The Benin kingdom, the Benin kingship was the last one that I was respecting until this young man came. Yes, he came. He carried a big name, Oba Ewaye. You know the power of Ewaye in Benin history. He must have done something very extraordinary. For them, they call him Ewaye the Great. But this one says Ewaye. He's rigging election in his palace to bring a dons to become governor of Edo State. Where professors are, where high profile intellectuals are. A, a man who cannot read or write is the governor. Yes, so he's now scared because he resisted Tinubu's daughter. Now they are shouting everywhere on the internet that they want to relieve. That's how rotten that institution has gotten. It's a very corrupt institution. We don't need it anyway in the first place. Traditional rulership and democracy cannot work together. Yes, if America had traditional rulers, they'll be in a lot of trouble. See what the British people had been able to successfully manage there. They put him in one place. He doesn't interfere with the day-to-day activity of their day. But we don't need them. They were the same people who sold our people into slavery. Millions of our black brothers and sisters, our ancestors, they were so corrupt. They were the ones who sold them into slavery. Okay, and then they were the ones who sold for 700 years our people into slavery to the Arabs. So why do we need them? If we care so much about our customs and tradition, what we must do is to write it down, every bit of our custom. What do we do when a child is born? What do we do if it's a male child? He comes of age, the age of puberty. I did it in my place, age grade 10. Write it down. Write it down. Down the same thing for women. You know, there are certain things when they attain some age, what we used to do. Write it down. Yes. Write it down. So write it down so that the generations will know it. Let it become our way. Every child who is born is handed that book. Until from that cradle to death, how we bury people. Now our culture have been bastardized. I'm an Ababo man. When you are born, there's what we call a Igbang Podu. People come. It's a traditional thing. You enjoy it. Nice. People come and rejoice. They come with 2 bars of yam. When they are going, you cut, so that it gets to everybody. Not because they cannot feed themselves, because that is something that brings joy. Everybody does it. Yes, when I grew up, I was about 15. We were there's something we do. People, somebody who wants to build a house, he didn't need to have to build get a bricklayer or that. We did it. Communal effort. We laid we made the blocks. We set it. We did it. The only thing he will have to do is roofing. And I'm thinking some of those who have the capacity to roof will do the same thing and then have been roof. And before you know it, you own a house without stress. Now all that is lost. All that is lost. When somebody dies, it's like it was an honor in my time. When you die, you attain certain age. I think the last beneficiary of that was my father said, for you to sleep overnight in your house was a thing of honor before your burial. It was not reserved for everybody. So people have to want to live right in order to be given that type of burial. All that is gone now. When a 15-year-old dies now, they dump in the mortuary and then we start borrowing money to prepare ourselves for big parties, right? We make clothes together and all that. That's not our culture. It's not who we are. Yes, we are lost and we are getting more lost. And the people who are supposed to be the custodians of our traditions have demonstrated immense incapacity to lead. If you, I don't know how many of them, they don't do festivals. Some of them are building churches in their palaces. Some of them are building mosques in their palaces after they collect money to become whatever. All right? That is not our culture. That's not who we are. So if we want to know our culture, we must dispense these people. Let us write our tradition. Everybody, write your own down so that when the children are born, they have it. Everybody will continue to reprint it and for every generation so we don't get entirely lost. But these ones, no, they are corrupt, they are lost. They can't do a damn thing. So if America had people like that, there would be trouble every year, every day in this country. So they are an allergen to the growth and development of democracy. Now they have been reduced to boy for politicians because they don't understand their roles. They don't understand what their job is. Yes, outside selling people's land. Now there is no land, there's perhaps no more land to sell. And people are getting wiser now. After a time, they won't be able to sell anybody's land unchallenged. So that's what they can't sell my land. I will jail you. He said, I don't care who you are, you will go down. All right, he said in Africa, we don't rotate our government. I don't understand why people are not getting angry over this. Yeah, because it's the people are our people are so unconscious. They don't understand that they have what we call basic human rights. Yes, but we have been teaching them that they have these rights. They think it's a joke. So that is why people easily ride them. And that is why they are scared. Well, scared of a traditional ruler. Who the hell is he? Yeah, they are scared. No traditional ruler in Nigeria, anywhere on earth, can invite me to his or her palace for prosecutorial reason and expect me to come. I'm not coming. You can't. You are not a better person. You are a human being. Yes, no, God did not even establish that institution. It's fake. It's men who want to control people like the Sultan in Sokoto. He's not a traditional ruler. So they imposed themselves there and then turned the people into slaves that are worshiping them. He's not supposed to be seen or heard where traditional rulers in Nigeria are talking. But today, what are they doing? They want to make him the permanent chairman of the Traditional Rulers Council in Nigeria. Yeah, that's how terrible things have gotten at home. Well, today, now, we've gotten all this, going to talk about the issue about the release of Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu is reacting or reacted to the state of the Igbos since the massacre ended. It reminded Nigerians and has continued to remind Nigerians that the issues that led to the genocide the first time have remained unresolved. That the Igbos are seen as threats has remained unresolved. That Igbos should hold positions in Nigerian armed forces at the highest level has remained unresolved. Forget about the epilepsy that brought about Ihejirika as a chief of army staff. When they had the moment, they took him out. Tell me any Igbo man who is a GOC commanding any part of any branch of the Nigerian army, but a terrorist, Major General Umar Abubakar, reported by a young man who knew what was going on. He's still a GOC, a man who is working with Boko Haram and working with Fulani bandits. He's still a GOC in the Nigerian armed forces. Yes, he is. So these are the questions Nnamdi Kanu have raised. And that is why he decided to once again rally the Igbos that Nigeria is not a place for them. I support them. Even if I'm not a member of Biafra, I support them because they have a right to self-determination. The right to self-determination is a basic human right, authored by God Almighty to all peoples. And that is why it is enshrined in every constitution. The basic human right of the Almighty is only given by God Almighty and not man. And he's the only one who can take it away when he chooses. And he gave it to you, man, to navigate through your lifetime. And he gave it to you with the hope that you did what was best with it. And that you must account for it. Hey, Davis Cole, how are you? How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you, man. Thank you very much. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, and to our new members, I welcome you to ONN. The matters are rising here. And we encourage you to subscribe to our channel, share our message, like this stream if you love what you are hearing, especially if you're in Nigeria. And for those who wish to appear live on video to join us on this issue, the link is well posted right at the top. Click on it and you're riding into our studio so we can hear your perspective. Otherwise, you can comment and then we read them to the people of the world and talk about them. Before I continue, there's a message that I would love to share with you from a young man who was in the Nigerian Armed Forces. Very angry, looking at what was taking place. He could not hide his feelings anymore. He understood that this country called Nigeria is being imperiled by some people. He decided to make a video and left the army. Since then, they have been looking for him. Since then, they have been looking for him to kill him, to shut him down. So please, listen to this emotional voice of this young, gallant, true Nigerian soldier. Yes. Now, as it stands right now, he's on the run. He's on the run. They are looking for him. The same people who see Bello Truji, the Nigerian army, disgraceful army, has not been able to arrest one little brat they call Bello Truji because they are all part of the conspiracy against Nigeria. Bello Truji, a nitwit, I can arrest him in a jiffy if I'm given the chance to do so. A whole Nigerian army, Nigerian armed forces. I'm talking about Nigerian armed forces, including the Navy, the Army, and the Air Force, has not been able to arrest Bello Truji. Yes. And you know what? The Nigerian Defense Authority are holding negotiations with terrorists. These are people who are supposed to be constitutionally defending the territorial integrity of Nigeria. Nigeria, see your country. Nigerians, hear your country. Woo! Yes, hear your country. Nigerians, let me remind you, I live here in the United States. America will permit you, you can kill anybody here. All right? There's so much guns here, so much weapons here. Most people have weapons. You can take your weapon to a mall and decide to commit a mayhem there. I won't do it, but people do it. Sometimes they go crazy because a lot of people here are sick. Some people are sick on medication. When they refuse to take their medication, they go crazy. And then when they have guns, they can just go out and just do. Some are pure criminals with terrorist intentions. Look at what happened to Charlie Kirk, where he went to address students in Utah. Somebody shot him. It didn't take, it took only 24 hours. It took only 24 hours for them to arrest him. And that was it. Now he's facing trial, possible death penalty. All right? Yeah, so when you commit crimes here, any crime, you pay for it. So before you commit, you think. Remember the ones that came to bomb the marathon thing in Boston? With thousands of people. Yes, they exploded their devices and killed some people. How long did it take before they were caught? It didn't take too long. But in Nigeria, Nigeria is a country where you go. Terrorists will kill people in quantum, and nobody is arrested. Nobody is arrested. Nobody is apprehended. Nobody. Absolutely nobody. And it goes on and on and on, like what Boko Haram has been doing. Have you ever heard anybody sent to jail? Have you ever seen anybody prosecuted? No. Look at what is happening, what has been happening in Katsina, the ones that are happening in Zamfara, the ones happening in Plateau, happening in Benue. Now, the most recent one is the one happening that happened in Kwara. Fulani bandits, Fulani terrorists. They will kill and leave untouched because of the failure of the Nigerian security system. The only time they are effective, the only time they are effective is when it involves the Igbo people in the southeast of Nigeria. Yes. Yes. That is how sad it is. So that gives them the audacity to do as they wish, unchallenged. So when the armed forces is not challenging them, who can challenge them? They tell us about Shekau. Shekau has been was in the midst, at the forefront of the Boko Haram insurgency for years. Eventually, they told us that they killed him, but nobody showed us the dead body. When America went to Pakistan and killed Osama bin Laden to prove to the world that he was the one, they displayed this picture and they gave bit by bit information about how they got to him and how he was brought down. Now, don't be surprised that in 2 days' time, you hear that Bello Truji has been killed, but we will never see the dead body. You hear on television, on newspapers, especially this nasty Punch newspaper, one of the worst newspapers in Nigeria. Hellish, tribalistic, evil newspaper. Punch will publish all kinds of rubbish in defense of the hell Nigeria is going through. You will hear it one day that Bella Turji has been has been neutralized. That's the word they used. They neutralized 100 Boko Haram terrorists. Allah, Allah, Basha. Yes, that's what we hear. But they never show us the bodies of those that they neutralize. But when the terrorists kill our people, they display their bodies to prove that they hit, sadly, soft targets. Yes. So now, if you didn't know before, you still trust the Nigerian armed forces. You trust them, you're on your own. They are a terrorist army working for the mastermind of terrorism in Nigeria. They are not your armed forces. You are on your own. Know too that you have a right to self-defense. That was what Nnamdi Kanu rallied his people. And they are threatened. They are scared. Nigeria is scared that he could organize that type of network to resist the invasion of Igbo land by terrorists with the active connivance of their state governors, all bloody, stupid idiots, governors of the Southeast, ever apologetic, shameless, foolish idiots who will turn their eyes away when their people are being murdered. They didn't ask the Yorubas what they did with Sunday Igboho. Are you still hearing about Sunday Igboho? Yes. Did you hear anything about him, Nigerians? Did you hear anything about him? They got him to keep quiet so that Bola Tinubu will wreck Nigeria. Do you see Igboho open his mouth anymore? No. Igbo man, you need to learn. You need to learn. What is happening in Okigwe now? It's only, you can mouth is not able to say it all, but it's happening. Young Igbos are being murdered every day and buried in shallow graves. And you never see them again. Nigeria. Buhari created it. Asari Dokubo was the unknown gunman. Asari Dokubo was responsible for killing Dr. Akunyili, the husband of Dora Akunyili. Yes. And they did it to discredit IPOB. Yes, he is responsible. He's not denying. He runs his mouth. He talks about the operations on at the head bridge, Niger head bridge. It was Buhari who created it and assigned him that. Let us discredit these people so that they can tag them a terrorist organization. The same Buhari that is a member of Boko Haram. The same Buhari that was nominated by Boko Haram as their chief negotiator. The same Buhari that is a patron of Mieti Allah. Yes, that is funding terrorist activities in Nigeria. The same Buhari that saw, okay, that was Tinubu. But Tinubu is here, illegal rogue president of Nigeria. Bello Bodejo, the president of Mieti Allah, a terrorist organization, recruited, trained, and armed 4,000 Fulanis in Nasarawa State, the heart of Nigeria, very close to Abuja, where Governor Sule, who was living here in Houston, I know him personally, under their watch. He trained them. arm them, dispatch them. Where are those people? Where are the ammunition that he gave to them? They weighed AK-47, but you and I cannot weigh the knife. And you are still believing in their type of one Nigeria without a fight. You gotta have to fight for one Nigeria. Do you know what they did to the Hausas? You thought there were so many Hausas in the Nigerian armed forces? No. They speak Hausa, but they are not Hausas. They are Fulanis infiltrated, brought to control the Nigerian armed forces. What have you done about them? The Nigerian armed forces is not the armed forces of the Nigerian people. That Oloyede is a chief of army staff does not make him in charge. He's not. Christopher Musa, chief of defense staff, he just only exists as chief of defense staff. He's only good at making announcements. He's an announcer. Like my brother was. I think they said that one wrote a book yesterday, the former chief of defense staff. I don't even want to call his name. He's from my place. I'm so pissed off. So pissed off, so sick. Now I always tell people, it is only when they are retired they will start writing stupid books about how they were frustrated. You were so frustrated, but you could not resign to tell the whole world. You could run away from the country and then make your position known about the state of Nigeria. He was the one, Lucky Rabo. Let me call him General Rocky's useless General Lucky Rabo. From my place, I speak the same Eka with him. He now wrote a book yesterday. The period he was chief of defense staff, he was only going to places after Boko Haram has killed people, and then he will go and make a tough statement that cannot be followed up. And that is what Christopher Musa is doing. That's the tradition, because they are not in charge. If they were in charge, Lucky Irabo would have been able to organize to stop Bola Ahmed Tinubu from becoming the next president of Nigeria. He was chief of defense staff. If he was in total control, there was no reason he could not make that history. He didn't have to become head of state. He could have done the same thing the soldiers in Egypt did to Hosni Mubarak when he wanted to continue. They told him, no, you cannot. And you will not get the army involved in this. They allowed the people to deal with him. They were there. They understood their constitutional responsibilities. That their responsibility was to the state and the people. They protected state institutions and not the government or its drivers. Yes, that was what the Egyptians did. And within 6 months, the Egyptians changed government. The guy who succeeded Mubarak was not liked because they said he was an extremist. They went back. Some rode in bicycles. Some traveled on foot to Cairo to express themselves. And they got their way until they got the type of government they could tolerate. But what is happening to Nigeria? When you tell Nigerians, let's come together, they will see the Igbo man in you. They see how Yoruba you are. They will see that you are not enough Fulani. And before you know it, everything dies down. That is why Nigerians are living in hell. It's their creation. But they have a moment to invent themselves. They have never ever invented themselves before. There's no burning fire of nationalism among Nigerians. And I expect to see it in the younger generation. But the younger generation of Nigerians are as ambivalent and as confused as what I cannot explain. They are corrupt for the most part. They are so transactional. They want to run. It is easier for them to run away from the country than to stand together and defend their country. Look at what they did with NSAS. People now make excuses here and there. NSAS, Buhari was about to run away from Nigeria. But what did they do? That they shot some people? Yeah, freedom. I'm so sad that they shot those people. I feel so sad because it could have been one of my children that was shot. Yes, it could have been. But that is a struggle. No people became free without a fight. No people became free without a struggle. They shot some people and they dispersed. And across the country, now they started opening food warehouses. And the dynamics changed. Our people started chasing the food. Even before being shot, our people took they took their protest for the liberation of their country. They took it like it was a carnival, like a party. They were roasting cattle on the street of Nigeria. They were drinking beer and making merry like it was a carnival. Now, did they see the business-like attitude of the Nepalese youths? Did you see anyone drinking water? I didn't even see anyone drinking water. They meant business. They knew what they wanted. And they were determined to get it. And with their determination, they got it. Yes. They did it. And quite frankly, Nigerian youths were celebrating the Nepalese youths. Now, closer home in Senegal, the present president of Senegal, do you know he was in prison? He was in jail. The Senegalese youth said that, okay, you don't release this young man and Sonko, there will be no election in this country. They seized the country. They came out in full force. They said, this is our country. Our country must not be destroyed by you beast. They came. They came. And the pressure reached Thabo Mbeki, former president of South Africa. He called the then president of Senegal. He said, look, this young men mean business. You better let their friend go. Leave him. You can still stand in the election. If you win, you win. But win clean. That was how Thabo Mbeki convinced him. And he released the faith. 2 weeks. 2 weeks to the presidential election. Faye campaigned for only 2 weeks. They barred Sonko from running. He would have been the president. He was the guy that the Senegalese wanted. For some reason, they didn't want so, and they didn't want to expand the problem. They settled for Faye. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. That was all. 2 weeks. And the people had their way. Faye was elected president. And Faye appointed Sonko as his prime minister. Nigerian youths, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? You're always full of complaint. If you always find a way to explain this whole thing out. Your country is being taken away. The Fulani bandits that are shooting up everywhere, they are young people like you. Are they not young? Don't you see their pictures? They come. Some of them are 20 years old. They come. They are in your villages. Maybe 5 of them will ransack a whole village and send the whole village running. You always find a reason, but you don't find a reason to not dance Davido. You don't find a reason to not dance, talk about Chioma. Choma, 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 do this, choma, do that. You're talking about Bomber Boy. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, yes. Let me read a few things here, man. Okay, Chike Chiwike, thank you very much. Yes, he said our youth need to take their hand, take their faith in their hands and forget these elders who are living in self-denial after benefiting much from the country. Yes, you know, yes, that is true. Now, let me tell you, going back, Obasanjo, Murtala Mohammed, Benjamin Adekunle, and all those people, Tunde Diago, do you know they were in their 20s? Obasanjo was in his early 30s. Gowon was in his early 30s when he became head of state, even though by inordinate means. Yes, Obasanjo was in his 30s too when he became head of state. Murtala Mohammed was in 30s. They were in their 20s when they were massacring the Igbo people. Yes. So now, what kind of youth do we have in Nigeria? When we tell you, you get angry. When Macron became president of France in 2017, 2018, he was 35 years old. A new movement sprang up in Nigeria, youth take over movement. Youth take over movement. We are all happy. Nigerian youth have finally woken up. Youth take over movement. They even passed a law for them, not too young to run. By the middle of 2018, when the real political activities started, the youth takeover movement had died. Nigerian youth are not a serious generation of youth. I'm so sorry, but there are a few of them that demonstrate flashes of seriousness, but they are not. They don't have the critical mass. The majority of them are transactional. They are as corrupt as those they look up to for leadership, because they work for them. The highest ambition of the Nigerian youth is to become an SA. What is an SA? Special assistant. Special assistant doing what? Special assistant that has no office, that has no defined job function, a job that is not pensionable, that will not lead you anywhere. Instead of demanding improvement in the educational system so that they can receive the education of the 21st century that will help them develop themselves and drive the economy and drive the future of Nigeria. They are busy running around politicians. They have started again. That's all they do. You're a young man who wakes up, he wants to be a sycophant, praise singer for money. That's all. There was one that was very close to me. I had to dispense of him and many others because I don't like praise singer. Don't praise me if you don't mean what you are doing. You are doing it for the money you are going to get from me, and that's what they are doing. They will sing your praise. Once it's for they sing praising is for money. Once they stop getting from you, they turn their backs on you. That is what they do. Young people, young Nigerians. Yes, if the Nepalese were praise singers, their president and his cabinet will still be there. All right, give them little grains and they'll be all right. But they said, no, no more deal. You have to go. I want to see a change in the attitude of young Nigerians. Yes, honestly, they are the ones holding Nigeria hostage more than anything. All right, now let's um, come back to my friend, my brother, Nnamdi Kanu, who has been incarcerated for now. This one is like 5 years in a row. The previous one, I think, it was there for 3 or 4 years. So put that together. This young man has family. He put out himself, sacrificed a lot, broken away from his children. His parents died. I think they died in quick succession, the same day or a day apart. Father died first, and then the mother followed. Yes, because of heartache. They besieged his house, and in order to build up a case to arrest him, then he has a case coming up in Abuja. He did not run. He was there prior, close to the time of the case. They deployed this massive amount of troops to set a stage for him to run out. So they will give a reason to kill him or declare him a fugitive. They were the ones who invaded his home. And somehow he was able to manage to escape. He went back to England and continued the work from there. And for some reason, I don't know why he was in Kenya. If he knew that they were monitoring him, this Buhari is a terrorist. He has a long history of terrorism. If you remember what happened when he became president first military dictator in 1983, you remember the running battle between him and Umaru Diko? Yes. He sent Israeli terrorists after him in the UK. They arrested him and drugged him and created him. I wish Nnamdi Kanu could really remember. They caught Umaru Diko in the street of London, wrestled him down, injected him an anesthesia, and then put him in a diplomatic bag, brought him on the way to Nigeria. It was at the airport that they discovered that something was in a crate, in a country against the rules of diplomacy, of international diplomacy. The British customs demanded that that crate be opened. And when they opened it, they found Umaru Diko in an unconscious state on his way to Nigeria. So Muhammadu Buhari is a terrorist. So he understood do that. So that was how Umaru Diko was saved. And then Nigeria went into a diplomatic role with Britain. Okay. Years after, the same Buhari came back as civilian president of Nigeria with the help of the same Imperial Britain. Just to make you understand how dishonest these people are, and the reason we must break away from them and leave their British Commonwealth system. We are not British people, we are not Europeans. Let's go be the Africans we are. Fortunately, Nnamdi Kanu traveled to Kenya. I don't know why he was there. Really, I was very angry hearing how he was arrested. He was kidnapped, not arrested. The same Buhari was in power in Nigeria. He understood all these things, so he made connections, international connections involving rogues. He has always worked with rogues because he's a terrorist, no good. That was how he died, like a fowl. All right, so they got him, arrested him, created him, kidnapped him, let me say, against international laws. They brought him to Nigeria. Britain, of which Nnamdi Kanu holds a citizenship, did not do anything. They did not say a damn thing. I doubt if America will allow that happen to its citizens. I doubt it. America will go to war with Nigeria. If Nnamdi Kanu was hold a U.S. citizenship, they will go to war. In fact, they will go deploy and snatch him from Nigeria. Yes. I know for sure. But Britain being what they are, the British people, British authority being what they are, what because Nigeria supports its poor economy. So Buhari had his way. And since then, they have put Nnamdi Kanu in a hellish detention with his health now deteriorating. 3 court orders demanding his release because he was kidnapped were disobeyed. Bola Ahmed Tinubu inherited it. And because it's part of what is taking place and his hate for the Igbos, because it's one of those sponsoring the anti-Igbo sentiment in Lagos. If you remember what happened during the election, when they were attacking the Igbos, destroying their markets, even their Oba, fake Oba Akiolu, was doing Oro, a Yoruba tradition that is reserved for performance in the dead of night. They did it in broad daylight because an Igbo presidential candidate was a threat to a Yoruba candidate, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So they did all this, and Nigerians saw it. So you can't tell me that every time an Igbo man raises his finger, he's he's playing a victim. You are victimizing him, and you don't want him to be a victim. You don't want him to say it. When are we going to be these Nigerians? When are we going to be true Nigerians? So since then, Nnamdi Kanu has been in detention. What we hear about the state of his head now is really concerning. And that is the reason for this broadcast. And we are demanding, not begging, for the unconditional release of Nnamdi Kanu. But as an activist, I know what they may have done to him. They have injected him. I won't be surprised that Nnamdi Kanu, if kept in prison or released later, he will die because they may have injected him with slow poison. That is how deadly. And you want to know why those behind his detention? You're going to know. Now, let me play what a young man who deserted the Nigerian army had to say before I continue. Take a listen. In fact, let me just pull it out so you can hear yourself. You see, you put a face for it because we are driven by evidence, not just mere what we say. Nigeria is in trouble, but the people of Nigeria don't understand how much trouble their country is in. Your tribe may be psychologically benefiting. It's all just the euphoria that they are, but it's coming to come to everybody in a long time. Just listen. My message to all the whole governors in the eastern region of Nigeria, and my message to the traditional ruler of the eastern region of Nigeria. This message now for now. Nnamdi Kanu, they don't detain now 5 years now. The house, they don't scatter around, kill a lot of people, kill his relative, all in the name of getting Biafra. Even the wife is on a critical condition. Where now he's on medical situation. Even him, when they detention unlawfully, he gets medical issues. I say make I just let una know the governors of the eastern region of Nigeria and the traditional ruler of the eastern region of Nigeria, now be the leaders of the region. I want to let una know say if now somebody from the north, the federal government they host is 5 years now, they not found anything with them, they not find out guilty. He's not any member of terrorists. He don't get any terrorist record. He's just agitating for a country called Biafra. And he was being hijacked because of the mineral resources went there for the eastern region. Now, the federal government no want make it come out
from the Nigeria country. Now it make that they go against the agitating of Biafra. That is why they are holding Nnamdi Kanu unlawfully. Nnamdi Kanu, they don't meet any weapon for your hand. Then since that 5 years, una no write petition, una just fall down because why? I just they see say one or two things, they say international this thing, una never do wetin it go make them release Nnamdi Kanu. I send this message to una governors, the traditional ruler, make una mobilize, make una call the eastern people, children, whether they are abroad. If na money, let them contribute money, make una make a movement of protest to the federal house in Abuja. Because if na northern person, they detail like this since 5 years, I swear to God, peace no go there for Aso Rock. So now that they deny the eastern part of Nigeria presidency, president or vice president, he never reach eastern region. Una no complain. Una see say now Ojoro that they do so. Now they agitate to get Biafra. They can't hold Nnamdi Kanu unlawfully. They not even meet class for Nnamdi Kanu. They not meet Tiger. It to say they even meet Tiger for Nnamdi Kanu hand. I go say yes. And even though they meet Tiger for a hand, no level. No level because many Fulani herdsmen have been with Tiger, rifle, surrounded the east, killing women, killing every father. Okay, see what happened now. Fulani herdsmen, bandits. Last week, they killed 4 reverend father. 4 reverend father and they killed. Which person, which any IPOB or liberation army that they are detecting for a Biafra in the eastern region have left and Biafra region and went to the north to go and kill Imam. To go and kill Imam. When? Which one? They don't come up for eastern part of Nigeria. Go to north, go kill Imam. But Fulani herdsmen, banditry, they don't surround the eastern part of Nigeria, taking the life of the priest, pastor, burning churches in the eastern part and the southern part of Nigeria. Una not do anything, no. President not reach una hand, oh. Vice president not reach una hand, oh. The country consists of 3 ethnic groups, Hausa, Yoruba, and Igbo. But ever since, they not going to give Igbo president to, they deprive them of their right to, then they see the whole Nnamdi Kanu for their right to, and you people, the rulers, and the governors, the House of the House of Senate, una keep quiet to. There are generals, major generals in the east who came from the eastern part of Nigeria. They keep quiet to because of selfish interest. The traditional una keep quiet because of selfish interest. The governor una keep quiet because of selfish interest. Now a few people, few barrister, few traditional ruler, una effort, it never cease to amaze me. I never praise una effort. Because why? Una they move with minority. Instead of you people to move with majority, una they move with minority. That is why the federal government still have the right to hold Nnamdi Kanu to this extent. Look at the DSS boss. He's from the South region. They put money down. So they charge Nnamdi Kanu lawfully. Somebody when they don't carry, when they know nothing there for your hand. No weapon, nothing. You don't have anything concerning terrorist organization. Then the people who have the remand, who have the terrorist organization in Nigeria, the politicians who have hands in terrorism in the country, they lead them. Nobody charge them, they don't arrest them. But if not somebody from the south and east, then they sponsor terrorism, then the leaders of the terrorism, they don't baba. What happened to kidnapper Elvis? He don't go to north to kidnap, but the kidnapper said that today, but they still later they give up. So therefore, I urge you now, the traditional ruler of the eastern region and the governor of the eastern region, this is time. Since you don't say the terrorists when they destroy this nation, that they give them peace deal. I challenge you now. Make una carry protest to Abuja. Make una carry protest to Abuja. First and foremost, the governor, the people of Ebonyi State, if una so una need Nnamdi Kanu to release. Carry protest to the governor house. Then governor go send message to the presidency. Anambra, if you not say una love Nnamdi Kanu, more una carry protest to the governor house. Then governor go send message to Abuja. Then Imo the way una say una the fight for una like Nnamdi Kanu. Make una carry mob to governor house. Make it the reader. Enugu make una carry protest to governor house. Make it send message to Abuja. Abia, you can carry protest to the governor house. May he send message to Abuja so that Nnamdi Kanu will be released. If you not carry this kind of fire, una just dey do one within the east. They'll say na normal thing now they do. I say make I just send this message for now. And peace and love. I call me peace.
The outdoor living. Yeah, that's a young man. That young man deserted the Nigerian army, and the fake Nigerian army has been on a manhunt for him to kill him. He's the one. He was the one who made that broadcast. Somebody sent it to me. As I was looking for materials to use, for this broadcast, and he spoke essentially the truth about what is taking place and the attitude of the Igbo elites, and that I stated earlier. The Igbo elites has become a very, very, very selfish, elite. He doesn't care. He's so detached from his people. He doesn't care. He's an apologist of the corrupt Nigerian system and its drivers. So as long as he has what Nigerians call his daily bread, he doesn't care about what is happening to his people. And that makes me feel so angry about how they win elections in those 5 states in the east of Nigeria, especially looking at the number of young people who come out whenever the issue of Nnamdi Kanu is raised. They come out in big numbers, huge numbers. So how do these young people vote? Do they vote at all? And if they are voting, who are they voting? And if they are voting, what drives their vote? So isn't it time they change their tactics? And that was one of them. I've not met Nnamdi Kanu personally. And I know that through my work, through writings and speaking, I had made a few suggestions to him about how to get this, as even as he's making his broadcast and other things that he's doing behind the scene to ensure essentially that the place remains safe. I did suggest to him at one time that they should look for a smaller political party. You don't have to be the mainstream political party. This whole madness of being in the mainstream political party in Nigeria, PDP and APC, has done a lot of damage, incalculable damage to the mindset of the people of Nigeria. That they believe that you have to be in any of those parties in order for it to be heard. It is the quality of who you present that is what matters. So if the entire Southeast had made a conscious political decision. I'm talking about the young people who are the drivers of this movement, because the older generation of Igbos are not a very inspiring and serious people, because they are essentially apologists of the Nigerian system. They are only interested, they are greedy, they are interested in protecting their business, like people like Coach Charis. He has a lot of money. He's not interested in talking about anything that will make any Igbo man better, because he benefits from the corrupt system. So he's not going to do anything to rock the boat. But what about the young people? You have the number. It's the number that matters. It's not the money, it's the number. What are you doing with your numbers? Why not identify with one of the political parties? Yes. And then choose people who are driven by what drives Nnamdi Kanu. Send them to the Senate. Make them state governors. Make them members of the state assembly. So at all levels, the agitation is on. On the floor of the Senate, you have pro-Igbo, pro-Biafran agitators. Yes, taking the central stage to push the agenda for the liberation of Igbo people. Yes, if not democratically, and maybe perhaps through other means. That is my take on that. But that is in the past now. And I hope people are listening to this so that they can recalibrate and do things differently. But me, I will not do anything that will validate Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So that is why I'm not interested in anything politics in Nigeria, not right now. People call me to come and run for Senate, come and run for president. No, I'm not. Nigerians are not ready yet for the kind of person that I am. They are not ready for the kind of mindset that I have. But I tell the people of Nigeria, if I am put in a position like the presidential seat of Nigeria, uh, at night, day will turn into night for some people. Those who are masterminding the destruction of Nigeria, they know them. And they are the ones making the decisions. They are the ones responsible for the continued detention of Nnamdi Kanu, coupled with the lack of cohesion of the Igbos, especially the Igbo political elite. They are scared of having Nnamdi Kanu out of jail because their positions are threatened. So they are part of the people, helping to keep him longer than necessary in detention and keeping him for any reason in that detention. The Igbos are involved. Yes, Igbo elites, I challenge you. If you say you are not involved, come out. You took um, the former ambassador Amechi at his, he was in 90 something years. You dragged him before Buhari to beg Buhari on behalf of Nnamdi Kanu to let him go. Did Buhari listen to him? Yes, Buhari did not. They did not listen to him. Because you guys don't know how to play real politics. You guys don't understand what is taking place in Nigeria. You guys don't understand the history of Nigeria, perhaps. If you did, you'll find, ask the Yorubas what they did to protect Sunday Igboho. He was never arrested. He did maybe perhaps worse than Nnamdi Kanu did. Yes, but he's enjoying freedom today. The only thing that he kept quiet is not talking anymore. They have find a way. Maybe they gave him some pacifier. All right, then he's calm now. You hear me? And he's not talking. Then the best he did was to go to London to feebly ask. I think which is a foolish move to ask for Yoruba nation. Why would you go to London in the first place to ask for Yoruba nation? But that is, by the way, I am talking about the need, the urgent need. If Gumi, a terrorist, a known terrorist, Ahmad Gumi is a known terrorist. If the man who goes to spend time with the terrorists in the forest, the man who will come out to openly tell Nigeria that the terrorists are needed because they are their soldiers in the forest and nothing happens to him. Why should why should Bola Ahmed Tinubu continue to hold Nnamdi Kanu? Now, why is Nigeria, the whole of Nigeria, quiet? Yes, so you pick and choose. So do you mean that the threat that Ahmad Gumi present to Nigeria is not real? Not real enough? Even when they are kidnapping, his boys are kidnapping, killing people across the country. So at what point? Is it only when the Igbos are involved? You tell them to leave Lagos. You tell them to leave Abeokuta. Tell them to leave Ilorin. You tell them to leave Ibadan. Is that the only? So the Igbos are the only problems you see. Those who are kidnapping your people, you don't see them. The Igbo man will never come to any village to kidnap anybody. He will come as a businessman. He will come as one who is interested in developing his immediate vicinity. That is why when they come, they invest in their local host places. Yes, they build homes there. They establish their businesses. They support the local economy. They employ the people from there because they believe in Nigeria, because they are the real Nigerian. But you sit down wherever you are to throw stones at them. You have never been to Igbo land. You say Igbos don't sell land. They don't give land to. Have you ever been there? You've never been there. You are hearing what the fake media, like a punch, will write piece of shit. And then you believe that. You believe in Tribune and the rubbish that they publish every day. Why? But whereas you have not gone to explore, you have not gone to Igbo land to see how they do things there. You have never sought anything. And by the way, people can make laws. You can make laws that will bar people from buying things from you. If the law of Nigeria permits you, yes, I know that land ownership is a federal is on the exclusive list. You know. So what is your problem? What is wrong with the whole of Nigeria uniting to demand for an end for the incarceration of this man? Why is it an Igbo man's problem and not a Nigerian problem? You think you are safe? No, you are not. We are not all safe. 10 years ago, who thought that somebody will have the audacity to come to my hometown and invade the place, kidnap over 100 people, kill 10 of them? Who thought that that was possible? If you think it is impossible in your area, I tell you, tomorrow holds a different thing for you. So this is the reason why we must all unite and be citizens of Nigeria. Do the right thing for every Nigerian. When any part of Nigeria is in trouble, we must assume that it is all our problem. That is why people like me, we are advancing the cause for the liberation of the Hausa people. We are doing everything to inspire them, to charging behind them, to go and take what was taken from them. Yes. And then break the chains of their subjugation since the past 221 years under the hands of Madam Fodio and his children. And that is what exactly what a true Nigerian should do. You don't behave as if, okay, you want to, everything's about your tribe. Who has tribe helped? My tribe, I only speak the language. I know the custom. And then sadly now the custom is being bastardized. So that's all. I'm a Nigerian. I can talk about any Nigerian issue. I don't pick and choose what I want to speak on. Yes, if it is a grievous thing that impact the lives of other people, I will do it. I will speak. Now, what position have you taken? Yes, on the issue of Nigeria. What is it? What was the issue with you? Why is the media in Nigeria silent as all this is taking place? Yes, why is the media in Nigeria all silent? Were you all censored or told not to push for the release of this young man who is being illegally detained? Yes, because this is illegal detention. The Supreme Court has ruled, discharged him and acquitted him, and you are still holding him. On what ground are you holding him? Maybe perhaps, like this young man stated, if it was someone from somewhere, not the North. The North does not exist. I want to clarify something for the people of Nigeria. Before now, we're talking about the North. The North, the North. There's nothing like the North. The North died a long time ago. What we have is Fulani elites. All right? It's Fulani elites masquerading in the name of the North to hold Nigeria hostage. The North is not existing. All right? When you talk about the North, are they talking about Benue? Are they talking about Plateau? Are they even talking about Nasarawa? Were they talking about Kwara? Yes, that are being decimated now by the same people who once told them that they were brothers and sisters in Islam? No. When you talk about the North, you are talking about Fulani elites. Now they have lost it because the whole of Nigeria has seen who they are for what they are. They have seen them for what they represent. So, my brothers and sisters from Nigeria, let's minimize this talk about the North. The North is dead and buried, just like there has never been any South. We want Nigeria. When you talk about, maybe you want to talk about Fulani North, maybe that's fine. But say Nigerian North, no. It's gone. Nobody wants them anymore. That is why they are They are restless. I wish you knew what is happening right now. The great rumbling that is coming from the Hausa people. I wish you knew the anger among the Hausa people against those who have duped them for 221 years and for 61 years since they became part of Nigeria. Don't maximize this knot. It's a dead entity. And I tell the people of Nigeria, we have seen all the players. When you talk about terrorism and banditry, who are the people behind them? They are Fulani elites. They are in government. They are in Bola Tinubu's government. They were all in Buhari's government. Some were in Jonathan Goodluck's government. They are in the armed forces. They are in the DSS. They are responsible for the destruction of the NNPC, for the emergence of a Dangote refinery. 4 of our country's refineries are dead. And they planted a man, Mili Kyari, to do the job of destroying the refineries that were existing before now. He made sure that they never made profit, regardless of what Nigeria was pumping into those refineries under his management. All of a sudden, we are seeing Dangote refinery. Yes, you should be scared. You should be scared that your armed forces is gone. You give me the opportunity, I will disband the entire Nigerian armed forces because it's a disease right now. Do you know cancer? When somebody has cancer, metastasizes. Nigerian armed forces is cancerous right now. That is why they have lost the power of cohesion. The only thing that brings them together is when they want to fight the Igbos. But if it is time to fight Boko Haram, they disperse. Because a great number of them are drivers, they are sympathetic to the warped ideology, bloody ideology of Boko Haram and Fulani banditry. They are all terrorists. They are in the army. They have command and control positions. For their hate for the Igbos is what unites them. That is why they are quick to deploy, to kill the people in that place. And this is the reason why the whole of Nigeria must now open their eyes to see what this grave injustice and stand up for their country. If you don't stand up, it's going to come to your neighborhood. I swear, it's coming. If you are in Nigeria right now, look to your right, look to look to your left, look to your front, and look behind you. What do you see? The mercenaries are there everywhere in Nigeria. There are even more in Yoruba land. I saw them chasing a whole village out. They were running. Was it like a few months ago? Yeah, that was a Yoruba community being sacked by terrorists. So if you continue to celebrate because Bola Tinubu is a Yoruba man, he's holding Nigeria, he's not even in charge. He doesn't even know what's going on. And he keeps on lying. And then when they tell him he's a liar, they deploy the fake police force. They go to the fake courts to want to find those who are speaking the truth guilty. So the country is a country of liars, mischievous people, rubbish institutions. Yes, a pariah that has gagged the entire country and its people. We cannot continue to have that type of country. Nigeria is not a country right now. Nigeria is on the way to becoming an expansive Somalia of the 21st century. Remember what happened to Somalia? Since over 40 years now, they have not been able to form a government. That is what some people want for Nigeria. And it is our duty as citizens of Nigeria to rise up now and be intentional and decisive about the future of this country. Otherwise, we will lose it. We are at the verge of completely losing Nigeria. So why can't we unite behind this cause if we are serious citizens? Why can't we all join hands to demand for the unconditional release of Nnamdi Kanu? It is long overdue. Unconditional release. Who says that the Igbos have no right or Yorubas have no right to self-determination? Who has to be forced to be in a marriage that he doesn't want anymore? Even when this thing is in our constitution, the right to self-determination is enshrined in the Nigerian constitution. And because of the ignorance of those, because we put idiots in power as drivers of our country, that is why we are where we are. Who said everybody has a right to self-determination? Every group has a right to self-determination. Who is happy with Nigeria right now? Even the Hausa people are not happy with Nigeria. They have used them. Fulani elites have used them. We know the common enemies. Why can't we unite to be decisive about where to place them? Why should less than 10 million, the Fulani race in Nigeria, their population demography is not up to 10 million. So why should a fraction of their 10 million be holding our country hostage? Why should they deploy their people in forests and alleys across Nigeria? Why should they be waiting AK-47 and other people cannot wait it? And then why is it that when they are arrested, we hear something other from above demanding their release and they are released? So why are we so naive? Why are we not rising up? Why are we not asking a lot of questions? Why do we really have to take permission from anybody to defend ourselves now? Why have we all become cowards? Nigerians are cowards as it stands right now. Nigerians are cowards. You're only good at crying. 5 gunmen will come into your community, shoot up everywhere, and then you run away from them. And they come and occupy the place. They have occupied a lot of villages in the north. And they will really occupy it. They chase the owners of those communities into IDP camps. And the government of Nigeria that has an armed forces cannot use their armed forces to chase them chase them down and decisively deal with them. So every community will lose, they hold, and then they come for more. What kind of a country is that? Who wants to be a country like that? From a country like that? Then why are we blaming Nnamdi Kanu for rising up, for standing up like Ojukwu did some years ago? So this is the question. Now, where do we stand in this struggle? Where do we want Nigeria to be? You are preparing for 2027. Where will 2027 lead you? Who are you going to vote for in 2027? Who are you voting for in 2027? Who are the people in the race? Atiku, another Fulani, one of them. Atiku is one of them. Atiku is one of those supporting terrorism in Nigeria. Have you ever seen him condemn any terrorist activities? The only time we heard him was when some Fulanis were murdered in where? Uromi. And all of them took down to raise hell. Atiku, Kwankwaso, Rufai, the fake governor of Kano, and all of them. That was when they rose up. But when people are murdered in churches, when people are murdered in mosques, when Hausa people are killed in their mosques, in their farms, you don't see them. They don't rise up. So you want to vote Atiku? Now, my prescription, I'm not interested in politics. Not right now. No Fulani elite in politics is worth your vote. Nigerians, I'm hearing, because they are very mischievous people. Do you hear any of them condemn any of these heinous acts? Because they are part of it. If you are a citizen of any tribe, some of your tribesmen come out on the killing spree. True citizens will stand up for the truth. What did the Fulani people do? They keep quiet. They keep quiet. Yes. Their silence means tacit support. Go and look for the meaning of tacit. Tacit. Yes. They are behind it. They love it. They are enjoying it. So no Fulani elites. Nigerians, we are in the majority. What are we doing with our majority? They should not come with any of their presidential candidates. So that is why they have colonized the ADC. And people are clapping for them. ADC coalition is a terrorist coalition. And you clapping for it, you are an idiot for not seeing. Yes, ADC is a terrorist coalition. Now they are moving from APC because they are headsmen. They have left some in APC. We don't need an election in Nigeria. The election will lead us nowhere. We need action like Nigerians. We need to ask ourselves questions. What are we doing with a drug dealer at the helm of affairs? What are we doing with a certificate forger and an identity thief? Now, on the other side, what are we doing with Atiku? Atiku is a criminal. Atiku has a case to answer here in the United States about what he did with Congressman Jefferson, William Jefferson, on Holly Button. America sent Congressman Jefferson to jail for 13 years. 13 years he was in prison for the same crime he committed with Atiku. And now you may ask, why can't Atiku come here? Let him come here to the America. They will arrest him. Ask Atiku why he sold his house in Potomac, Maryland. His multi-million-dollar house. How did he get the money? Whose money did he use to buy that mansion? I'm going to show you that mansion in my next broadcast. It's here, but I cannot immediately show it now. Well, I'm going to do a rebroadcast on Abubakar Atiku, so you know the rot. Atiku was the one that was mandated to sell alien enterprises, national enterprises in Nigeria. What did he do with them? He sold them. He auctioned them below market value to his friends and cronies and put money in his pocket. He's a thief. A thief. A thief. Atiku is a thief. Tell him to sue me. Atiku is a thief. So is that the one? You should be ashamed of yourself if you are supporting Atiku. Yes. So then who else? El-Rufai. El-Rufai is a terrorist. One of the masterminds of terrorism. He was one of those who brought Fulanis from all over Africa to jump on Nigeria in 2015 because they wanted the Buhari to become president by all means and at all costs. And then when they got here, they refused to leave. Then do you know why he was having trouble with them towards the end of his tenure in Kaduna? He wanted them to leave, but there was some money that they have not been paid. So that's why they were kidnapping people every day in Kaduna for him. That was why they went and raided a whole Nigerian Defense Academy. Have you ever heard it anywhere? Can you go near Fort Hood in America that you are mad, that you are a terrorist? You go there and operate the way they operated and kill some soldiers, even take some soldiers hostage? Who does that? And that tells you that there are insiders in the military doing what they are doing, and you guys are out there clapping because you don't care, you don't want to, you are not listening, and you are not thinking analytically. Nigerians are not thinking, they don't think. They are so superficial. They believe every trash they are told, and they hold them to be true. Yes, you are being led by criminals round and round at all levels and in all sectors. Yes, the criminals now make rules for good people. So that's why they are holding Nnamdi Kanu, because he was speaking the truth like I'm speaking today. Yes. So you know why I am where I am right now. I can't come to Nigeria right now. Because if I come to Nigeria, they already have me all over the entry points. Not because they can do anything to me. But they want to shut me down and put me away so you can't hear this voice anymore. They are scared of this voice right now. Yes, they are so scared. If I come inside Nigeria now as a Nigerian, yes. But if I come inside Nigeria as an American, it'll be another kettle of fish. Because before I leave, I know what to do when I get into Nigeria. They'll be forced to be the one protecting me. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to use that. I want to be the Nigerian I am. Right? So, Nigerians, honestly, especially let me speak to the Igbo people. The Igbo elites, you are a very wicked set of people. Can you imagine Soludo? Imagine Uzodinma. Uzodinma is an agent of Fulani bandits. Oti, Mba, which is the other one? The one in Ebonyi. You are all useless people. You are all useless and distant from your people. Who do you represent? Who do you speak for? Are you the governors governing the Igbo people, or you are governing for some external forces? How come you can't be Igbo people? You can't hold an assembly of your people? Do you know the number of Igbo people who can march down Abuja? March down Abuja. I say march down Abuja. So Igbo people cannot raise 1 million people to march down Abuja. Yes. And stay there and not leave. Yes. Why? 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 Why are you so afraid? Why are you governing like you are mercenaries? Whose interest do you represent? Now, what do you have to lose being an Igbo man? Yes. With your people being targeted everywhere. What response do you have? Why are you speaking to the people? Driving Igbos in Lagos. I didn't hear any of you speak anything. You didn't say a damn thing because you are apologists. You are beggars. You are begging them, right? You are begging them. You are apologizing for being an Igbo man. Did you make yourself an Igbo man? Did you make yourself an Igbo man? Why do you allow people, inferior people, to be subjugating Igbos? Yes, those who are asking them to leave Lagos, who the hell are they? You can't ask them questions. They can't do that to me. They can't tell Deltans to leave Lagos. They know the implication of telling us to leave Lagos. And the same thing, you have right to question them. The oil from Niger Delta was used to build Lagos. The oil from Niger Delta was used to build Abuja. The oil from Niger Delta is used to pay salaries and developing all the states across Nigeria. Yes. They don't understand the definition of nationhood and citizenship. By the way, who is a traditional ruler? A traditional ruler is an ordinary citizen like you and I in a constitutional Nigeria. We are not operating monarchy anymore when they had all the opportunities and the powers to abuse our people. The same people who sent our people in millions across the Atlantic and across the Sahara as slaves. Who are they? They are traditionally wicked, evil. So why do we allow them to take central stage in our lives in a constitutional Nigeria? Yes, who are they? So why can't we, the people of Nigeria, truly, we are all a very ignorant people. Why should we live in a country like we are in a cage? And especially with criminals. Criminals, not just like they are decent people. Can you imagine criminals? Criminals, thieves, Bola Metinubu, criminal. We don't know his father. We don't know his mother. We don't know the elementary school he went to. We don't know the high school he went to. Is that not enough for you to ask a lot of questions? Oh, because he's Yoruba, you have to support him. He's a criminal. somebody who has sold drugs, somebody who has stolen somebody's identity, a fraudster who confiscated everything in Lagos to become his. You made him a kingpin, and he decides life and death for people, and you are happy that you have that as your arrowhead. You should be ashamed of yourselves. You have Akpabio, a Senate president. He's a lawyer that has never, is not known to have won any case. He has not even practiced law. He has not been to, I've never seen, I've tried to look for cases Akpabio handled as a lawyer. I didn't find any. He has no history of law practice. So you celebrate as that as your leader. You should be ashamed of you. At his 60th birthday anniversary, he gathered over 50,000 people from Akwa Ibom in a stadium that he named after himself. Instead of the people mobbing him, they were there to eat one plate of rice. And they were all dancing. Shame on all of you. Shame on Nigerians for what you have turned your countries into. America was not built like that. We are all here. We see, we obey law, we obey rules. Every time Americans celebrate independence, it is like it happened yesterday. Every generation takes it to the higher plane. What has been the case of Nigeria? Since the past nearly 40 years, we have been celebrating it on a lower scale, until it became no scale. Yes. I remember growing up when it was independence. They used to kill cow for us in our elementary school. They would ask us to bring plate. Then they would give us the flag, Nigerian flag. The patriotism that I have now, I think perhaps is from there. The love of country, the care of country is there. We knew history. They taught us history. We saw the history of Nigeria. All of a sudden, the country has kept on degrading, and we think it is fun. The country became hell for everybody. The country became a bastion of injustice and poverty. And we say it is okay. Every time we are adjusting, getting ready to receive the next worst punishment. Now, Nigerians, when are we going to rise up? You are, we are talking about a revolution. You are talking about an election. How are you going to conduct an election without a pathway to it? What reform has taken place in the electoral process? Why should you allow a criminal who came into power through inordinate means to midwife another election without any form of reform, and you expect that you are going to defeat him? How are you going to defeat him? How are you going to do it? And you are not the type of people who can stand up now to say, okay, we're going to change our country right now. No. Before we say anything, you are telling me about your tribe. You're telling me about your religion. Oh, you will tell me it's because it's someone from the southwest. It's because it's a Yoruba man. That's why they are trying this. The Yorubas will put up a defense against their criminal. Everybody is defending his criminal. Nobody is defending the nation. Nobody is defending the country. Nigerians are most unpatriotic. Our lack of patriotism is the reason why we are where we are. Stuck and everything going worse. And we still can't get it to say, now let's dust this. Let's distance ourselves from this religious and tribal nationalism and imbibe Nigerian nationalism to drive our country forward. Nobody. We are still talking about rotation. Bill Clinton and Al Gore, they were from Arkansas and Tennessee state respectively. And Arkansas and Tennessee were just next door neighbor. They shared a boundary. But yet, Bill Clinton was president. He was from Arkansas. Al Gore was from Tennessee. America did not go up in flames because Americans understand that what they wanted was efficiency, those who can lead their country. regardless of where they came out from. Now Nigerians will come, okay, president is from the north, vice president has to be from the south. President is from the south, vice president has to be from the north. Oh, it has to be one Muslim, one Christian. What the fuck is that? What has religion got to do with abilities, competency, knowledge, courage to do right, and the exceptional content and strength of character required to build, utilize, expand, extend, and sustain capacity beyond oneself for the good of the people and the country? Why do we have to talk about Muslim ticket instead of Nigerian ticket? Why do we have to talk about Muslim Christian ticket instead of Nigerian ticket? Is Islam a nation? Is Christianity our country? Who wants to be from any of those countries? I don't want to be. No, okay, what about those who are neither Christians nor Muslims? Where do you put them? Are they not Nigerians? So are you saying that they have no right to aspire to be president of Nigeria? Yes. This is nonsense. You think if I want to be president of Nigeria and I see that somebody from Edo State is better qualified and can work with me tirelessly, for the good of the whole of Nigeria, I will leave him and go and choose someone because he's from the north? No, I will not. We'll break that tradition. It's a useless tradition. Christians, how many people are true Christians in Nigeria? Looking at all the immorality that is flying everywhere in the country. How many are Christians? And truly, how many people are Muslims? How many people are true Muslims in Nigeria? Beyond being a political Muslim, how many are true Muslims that practice the pillars of Islam to the letter, the pillars that abhors discrimination? How many? Show me. So you want to call a Gumi a Muslim? It's not. It's not a true Muslim. It's a fake. You want to call Saad Abubakar, the fake Sultan of Sokoto, a Muslim? No, he's not. He supports terrorism. You want to call Dr. Bello Matawale a Muslim? No, he's not. He's not a Muslim. You want to support say Rufai is a Muslim? No, he's not. Rufai with so much blood in his hand or on his hand as governor of Kaduna State. Rufai, a great liar. He will lie and forget himself. And then thank God the internet does not lie. We are bringing all his lies and slapping him in his face, and he's lying some more. All right, so you call that a Muslim because he prays 5 times a day? No, he's then Muslim. Or you want to call Sanusi Lamido a Muslim? What about who killed Gideon Akaluka? Oh, yeah, have you found out who killed him? Ask him why he ran away to Sudan when Abacha was looking for him. Yes, so you call those Muslims? They are not Muslims. They are politicians. Or you want to call a governor of Nasarawa State a Muslim? No, he's not. Under his watch, Bello Bodejo trained 4,000 Fulanis, armed them and dispersed them into Nigerian forests. And you call him a Muslim? He's not. Bole Bedejo, he's a terrorist. You call that a Muslim? He's the one who is funding terrorism across Nigeria. No, he's not a Muslim. Or you want to call Shetima Kashim a Muslim? No, he's not. He's a terrorist with direct ties to Boko Haram. Or Al Mustafa, Abacha's killer. Abacha's killer squad leader. You call him a Muslim? No, none of them is Muslim. The real Muslims don't have access to opportunities to serve Nigeria. So we want those. So why do they keep quiet when you say Adeboye, you think he's a Christian? No, he's not. He's a hypocrite. All right? Blackmailer. He blackmailed you for your money. Where's Oyedepo? He's a Christian. He's not. Is he a true Christian? No, he's not. With all the money they amass from exploiting the people, you call them Christians? No, it's not. They don't stand for justice. Why are they not standing for Nnamdi Kanu? Where are the Muslims? All these Muslims that I call. Why is none of them coming to? Where is fake Sultan of Sokoto? What, have you ever heard him speak? He wants Nnamdi Kanu die, dead. They all want him dead. Why is Adeboye not speaking? Yes. Why is Oyedepo not speaking? Johnson Suleiman, all of them, they are exploiters taking people's money. And then when once in a while they spray money to some people, a few persons, the people will start rejoicing. Are you serious? They are not Muslims. And we don't want them. We don't want this hypocrisy in Nigeria. Yes, today is a day. I will tell you many of the things you don't want to hear. So if you love what we do, like like our work, like this stream, share this stream, support us with your super thanks, and let us, expand this message as we bring re-consciousness to the people of Nigeria. And I want to remind you, as a Nigerian or anybody watching me from anywhere on earth, that as a human being, you have one thing, your basic human right given by only the Almighty God, and He's the only one who can withdraw it. And those rights include the right to your life, right to choice, right to freedom of expression, right to freedom of association, right to worship, and right to self-determination. All these rights are sacrosanct. And when you take away one, you take away all. And these rights are your life. They are as important as your life. Remember, any person who takes away your life takes away your rights. And any person who takes away your rights takes away your life, even though you may still be breathing. And that is why you must guard your rights jealously and defend them fiercely against violations and abuse by anybody, group of persons, yes, including government, corporation. Yes, you must. That is your duty. And beyond that, as citizens of a country, and in this case, as citizens of Nigeria, you have rights as citizens of Nigeria that majority of us are not asserting. Yes, because of our tribal inclination. Nigeria is not a kingdom. Nigeria is a country. You have a right to lawfully live in any part of Nigeria without being molested. So when they tell you to leave, you need to start fighting back. Nobody owns Nigeria more than you. Every part of Nigeria is a Nigerian territory where you have rights to live, but live there lawfully. That's fine. And if you are doing anything wrong, you should be punished according to what you did wrong and not because of where you come from. Just as the case is when the people vilify the Igbos for being Igbos inside Nigeria, their home country. Yes. And on top of that, remember too that as citizens of Nigeria, you owe Nigeria some a set of obligation that are categorized under civic, yes, moral, spiritual, and constitutional. These are obligations you owe Nigeria. The obligation to raise your voice when you see fellow Nigerians destroying Nigeria or doing anything that will put Nigeria in danger. Stand up. It is your right. You don't have to keep quiet. Nobody, God did not appoint anybody or any set of people to be the custodians of Nigeria. As a citizen of the country, you are a custodian. You are a co-stakeholder. Your stake is as high as the stake of the man occupying the highest office in the land. It's only a position that he occupied to do what? To serve the people and not to be a lord over them. So you should stop being afraid, Nigerians. Now, the youths, finally, I come to you once again. I love you, and that is why I'm telling you. The people who don't love you are the ones who tell you sweet things. I am not ever going to tell you sweet things. Like, I don't tell my children sweet things all the time. When it's time to be serious, they know I will tell them the truth. They may not like it immediately, but they come back later to tell me, Dad, you know what you said was right. Yes. And that is our job. That is my job. I am not going to tell you, I'm a 63-year-old man. I may look young in the face, but I'm not as young. All right. I chose to be young, because of my lifestyle. So you young people in Nigeria, You are a great part of the country's problem because you don't understand how much you own Nigeria. Much more than Atiku, much more than El-Rufai, much more than Dangote, much more than Peter Obi, much more than whatever their name, David Mark, and all the rest of them. Because you are younger. And these people, through their actions, they are cutting into your lives. Their policies have killed millions of young people. A great number of you will not live to your full potential if you continue to hobnob with them and continue to hope that they will provide the leadership that you want. They have passed through their stages. Now they are encroaching into your generation, and they are not doing a good job at that. So there's nothing wrong in you rising up against them. Seize your country. Put the country in the hands of those who can drive it on your behalf and drive it well and mentor you to be greater people and perhaps greater leaders. Yes, all of us will not occupy political offices, but wherever you are, you'll be able to make positive impact. That is how countries grow. Yes, that is why United Arab Emirates is the way it is. That's why Kuwait is good. And that is why America is okay. That's why France, anyway, France is falling apart right now. Yes, because it's a parasite. The African placenta that has been feeding it has been cut off. So France is struggling. But all these countries have economic, very invasive economic diplomacy. That's why they leave thousands of miles to come to Africa to manipulate our people and exploit them. Yes, they have a blueprint for survival. Now ask yourself as a Nigerian, ask yourself as an African, what is the blueprint for the survival of Nigeria or Africa? Beyond the space of Nigeria, beyond the frontiers of Africa. China comes from 15,000 miles to come unleash its people, mostly prisoners serving jail time in China, are all over villages across Nigeria and the rest of Africa, digging up our minerals and polluting our environment and water. Yes, where are you? That is their invasive economic blueprint. Where's yours? Only to consume, made in China, made in America, made in England. What are you making to send to them to buy? How many of your construction companies are constructing roads in America? I want to see you who are asking this question. How many of your construction companies are constructing roads in Germany? How many of your construction companies are constructing roads or building bridges in China? How many of them are in Canada? How many of them are in Kuwait? How many of them are in Saudi Arabia? How many of them are everywhere on earth? The story of the black man. Ask yourself a question. Are we meant to, have we been condemned to consumption? We consume and consume and consume. Yes. We consume all kinds of trash that they bring for us, and we consume it. So why can't we say enough is enough? It's not like we don't have the men with the vision to make all this happen, but we stand in their way whenever they show up. For some reason, they get frustrated and either leave because intellectuals, you cannot keep an intellectual in a in a box. He's going to find a way to leave, and that is why some of us are where we are right now. We can turn it around. It is essentially in your hands. The youth of Nigeria, I want you to go to sleep tonight. Think about Nigeria. Think about where you are right now. Think about Nigeria in the next 5, 10 years, 20 years, where the country will be with the way it is bleeding through the tragedy of leadership, and advise yourself. But in all, I want the whole of Nigeria to unite, to begin to demand right now for an end to the siege in our country. Let's demand for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. It is long overdue. It doesn't matter whether he's from your tribe. It doesn't matter whether he's a member of your religious sect or not. But it matters that he's a human being. It matters that he didn't do anything wrong. It matters that he was kidnapped. It matters that people who have done worse things than him, than he's said to have done, they are all walking free. Why is Bello Truji walking free? Why is Saad Abubakar walking free? Honestly, Why? Why is El Rufai walking free with all the provocative things that he has said and done about Nigeria? Where is Shekau? Shekau is not dead. They tell you he's dead. No, he did not die. He's still alive. He has concluded his tour of duty. He's somewhere. He's perhaps in Nigeria, or they have sent him outside Nigeria. All right. So he did not die. Let us, if they want us to believe that he's dead, let them assume his body. Let's do his DNA. He did not die. The people who are troubling Nigeria are inside this Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government. They are in the north of Nigeria. A great deal of them are part of the political leadership of Nigeria. A great deal of them are the emirs and sultan in Nigeria. They are in the north of Nigeria. They are responsible. They cannot say that they are not Fulanis. They are Fulani elites holding Nigeria down. And the way to fight back is for Nigerians to tell them, okay, your time is up. We will not elect any of you to hold any position in Nigeria. And we can do it. And it's going to take our unity of purpose, our determination as a people to build a country to make that happen. All right. Great hearing you guys. Oh, let me take a few things to read before I get it out. Yes, yes, yes. It's been TBK. It's an election is around in the country. Do you believe in the election? I don't think I believe in it, but I will not discount that. If the people can really work hard and be decisive and firm, they can make things happen. But I am afraid that Nigerians are not cut out to be like that. Yes, they are not. They only aggressive through entertainment. They love skits. They love entertainment. I wish they can get the type of leaders from entertainment, not the type of drama we see with that one they call a very dark man. That boy is something else. Yeah. So anyway, so that's what it is. People must realize that government is not meant. It's meant to protect and provide for us, not instill fear and control. Yes, I hope they understand that, brother. Wait, good, good, good. Yes, Chibike getting the information. All right, that's good. That's great. That's great. Babs, greetings to you, all fellow Africans out there. Thank for the show. Till when every citizen of Nigeria will know that he or she is a Nigerian, then Nigeria will start changing. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Some people don't believe that they are Nigerians. They think Nigeria will come from somewhere and build itself for them. It takes a people, a patriotic set of people to build a country. It takes people to love their country in order for them to build their country. Countries never build themselves. Countries exist. Nigeria is a great country, really very powerful, great country with everything in it. We have all the raw materials to do the best we can to do with that country, but it is our fault that we are not doing that. We must break the yoke of tribalism. We must break the yoke of religious nationalism. So these two religions, Christianity, commercial Christianity and Islam, yeah, they are not our religion. God is not in them. Yeah, the way they position them. Yeah, it's all about commerce. The God comes from the heart. And when God touches you from the heart, you see. So what we are practicing in Nigeria is not religion. It's commerce. It's politics. Let us go. And this religion is a personal business. It's not a national business. Yes, when somebody from your religion is doing something wrong, wake up as a citizen. Address him as a citizen, not as a member of your religious sect. Call him as a citizen of Nigeria. What you are doing is wrong. Don't be afraid of doing that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't stop you from being from the same tribe. Your tribe, if it's a responsible tribe, will not ostracize you for doing what is right. What is right is what is right, and it's only God that rewards what is right, not anybody else. It rewards you spiritually for doing what is right. Okay, and Nigerians wake up. Nigerians unite, and love each other and stop dividing yourself. Absolutely, that is what the message has been. Yeah, we can't. Why can't we be? Why can't some of my friends here are people who are not from my tribes? And then when we connect, we talk passionately about how things can get better for us. Yes, I have some of the best friends. I have friends from Pakistan. I have friends from everywhere. Whenever we are sitting down to talk, we talk about progress. We don't talk about hate. We don't talk about dividing. We don't talk about hurting one another. All right. Yeah, Shabaka, Young Warrior Kings. Oh, all right. Let me see. All right. Yes, kings and queens must lead and direct the unity and liberation of African people. Yeah, worldwide. Yes, yes, absolutely. I agree with you. Yes, organization is key to Black liberation. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Solomon, Captain, I'm an Igbo. I'm an Igbo man. You are saying the truth. My people have failed us. Absolutely. So we have to tell them the truth that people, because some people are afraid of walking up to them to tell them this truth. Yes, but the power of the power of the people, we are not using it. The power of the people. Nobody, no army can stop the power of the people. When the people decide that they are tired, and like they should be now. All right. David Oyido, how are you? Okay. All right. Akintunde from New York City. Thank you very much. Many more. Much love. Thank you, Simiwa. Right. Thank you very much. We appreciate all of you. And I call on our new members, those who just joined us on YouTube. I thank you very much. And please ensure that you subscribe. And those who are returning members, we can't stop loving you for the great thing that you do. Loyalty is not something that we take it very seriously, and we appreciate your loyalty. We appreciate your time, and look forward to seeing you in our next stream. Bye for now, and I love you. Hey, Facebook, thank you very much, and we'll see you again soon. Bye bye.